What's up, Rainmakers? It's week 1 of the new NFL season. We've been waiting all summer for this, and we're really excited. We don't have, of course, a Dead to Me segment this week.
Everyone is
alive to us. Love you now. Except for those that have already torn their ACLs, maybe, which is too bad. All right, now we'll just get into our week 1 StormWatch. This week we'll just talk about players that we like that are under 7,000 at each position.
Yeah, because there's really no reason to go over those
the
stud guys.
I mean, right. So the strategy is, of course, to find those value plays so that you can put in as many studs as you can.
Yes.
So who do you like at quarterback this week?
Well, I mean, if you guys are real FF Rainmaker followers of us, you know that there's one QB that always hooks us up before he gets a concussion or gets injured for the year, right?
That's right.
But it's Mr. Hoyer, right? He's at 64. I know a lot of you guys are, wanting to play all the big guys, because this week, since it's first week, they're not really like in the 9,000. They're like lower 8,000. But I mean, just in general, Hoyer is a great value at 6,400 at home.
Yeah.
Because as you guys know too, that we like to play, especially if it's third tier QBs, we like to play them at home. Another guy you guys might want to look out for also is Mr. Cutler at 6,700. I mean, he's actually hasn't been looking that bad
in preseason.
Yeah, in preseason, with Miami. He seems to really like Devontae Parker over Landry, and even Julius Thomas got a touchdown. And that's the same offense when Adam Gase was the OC. Julius Thomas had 10 plus touchdowns with Peyton Manning. Of course it was Peyton Manning, but still, it's the same offense now. So really watch out for Julius Thomas. Also, that's a little sleeper pick for the season long too, as your number 2 tight end, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Who else? One more? You got one more?
Well, I mean, this would be the deep, if you want to be crazy, would be Kaiser at 6,000, because that's the lowest you can get on FanDuel. Okay, for a starter. And yeah, a couple years ago, I remember it was 5,000, but it's 6,000 now. Right. Remember one time we even started Dak Prescott or even Tyrod Taylor the year before that, even when they were 5,000, and that was great value. But 6, they make it a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
But still, you never know. He's at home against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh never plays well on the road, but
All right, let's move on to running back.
Running backs. Okay, so under 7,000. Here's a couple. Of course, this is definitely if Zeke doesn't play. Hashtag free Zeke. But if he doesn't, DMC might be an okay thing at 58, because then you're allowed to pick up maybe even a David Johnson or a Bell, even pair him up with DMC, or even a Robert Kelly, Fat Rob, right, for Washington is also 58. Okay, it's a starter. He's gonna get all the goal line work. But another player also is like a sexy pick. A lot of people are looking at it's Christian McCaffrey at 65, I believe he is, right? He's going back home in a sense, right? Stanford, he's playing in San Francisco. San Francisco last year gave up like the most rushing yards, and so Cam is kind of banged up, right? I mean, in the preseason he only threw like 2 passes or whatever in that third game. They still want to bring him back slowly, so you never know. Dump passes,
grind it out games.
Yeah, just run into McCaffrey. Hopefully he doesn't get too much of a share with Jonathan Stewart. But I mean, McCaffrey's been looking awesome in preseason. I know you guys have been watching, so yeah, and a lot of those screen passes and dump passes that Cam might throw at the beginning of the season to kind of get him acclimated better. Exactly.
All right, let's move on.
Receivers under 7. There's a couple real deep sleepers, okay? Because we're gonna tell you these for mostly GPP reasons. But one big one that we really like, it's Kendall Wright, okay, at 52. He could be a really good sleeper, okay? If you guys been noticing the preseason and stuff, you know, Cam Meredith, he went out with the ACL,
Right.
you know, and Kendall Wright has been, man, he's been looking really good, you know, and he's actually the same, in that same offense, the offensive coordinator at Chicago when he was in Tennessee. So, and that year, I don't know if you guys remember, he got like 90 plus catches that one year.
Next.
Receiver would be Mr. John Brown. All right, he's back from his injuries of last season. He's at 5,700. I know he's technically the number 2 guy in Arizona, or I guess if you count David Johnson, right? He's almost like
That's true.
number 1 receiver and number 1 running back. That guy's a beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's technically number 2. He's been looking good in the preseason. He got that 2 touchdown catches, you know. I mean, remember before he got hurt, man, he was a beast. He had 1,000 yards, and
He's the type of guy that
Yeah.
just catch one, take it to the house anytime.
exactly. He has speed, and he can also be like a possession guy too. So watch out for him.
Okay.
And then the third guy, still under 7,000.
Yep.
6,500 would be KB, Kelvin Benjamin.
Yep. KB.
Yeah, like we were saying, you know, Cam is those shorter throws, right? I mean, he's a big target, so he's gonna get those catches from Cam, and in the preseason he's been looking like a monster, right? Back to his old form before he blew out his knee and all that stuff. So yeah, so those are our 3 receivers. Here's a couple tight ends. So at 4,500, which is like the bottom of the barrel, right? The cheapest you can get. You could also look at, if you want, like a Zach Miller. You know, I know they brought in Deion Sims as like a blocking tight end, but Zach Miller is their receiving tight end, and just last season, man, he had a great year, you know, and he's at 4,500. I mean, if you want to go that cheap tight end route, right? Also, Charles Clay at 46, right? He's the only returning receiver
Right.
in that Buffalo offense. So everyone else is new, so it's gonna be kind of tough, you know. So Tyrod just dump downs all day, right? And so he's a great value also.
Yeah. Again, overall, we never pay, or hardly ever pay for
In the playoffs, we do,
expensive
remember?
time. Yeah, playoffs.
It's different strategy.
You
we
get
do.
a Gronk.
Yeah. Or
But-
in the playoffs we do.
Yeah,
But
but
in the regular season, yeah, we rarely.
okay. And then lastly, defense.
Defense. Okay, we're gonna give away one defense. Okay, because I mean, personally speaking, I don't think of all the defenses, I don't think it's worth going all the way even to Houston, right? With that value, I'm gonna say it, you know, with all the stuff going on in Houston, I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, they're gonna be hyped, but at a certain point, they're gonna lose all that
Right.
energy too, you know.
Yep.
And by the way, we're praying for everyone in Houston because we're actually from Texas,
Originally
so
from,
so we're praying for
prayers go
everyone
out
down
to
there.
everyone that was hit by Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah, so we were really looking at Jacksonville with the price of 41, I believe it is, right? And that is cheap for a defense. And on week 1, what we like to look at a lot of times is also what professional fantasy people or sites think about certain players or defenses for the season long, because it really comes in handy. So a lot of the sites even have like Jacksonville as one of the top 10 or top 12 kind of defenses. And so if you believe that's going to happen, especially week 1 against a team that's been kind of, their mind's been elsewhere, right? We know it's on the road, but their mind has been elsewhere. And with the QB that's not even in the top 20 or 25, right? Because those are the reasons why you play a defense, certain defense, against a QB.
All right, that's our week 1 StormWatch. Now we're gonna get into our weekly episode of the Stackables. So this week we look at the matchups, and this week I like Dalton and AJ. You know, it's a I think it's a good game, and I feel like too Dalton and AJ and just Cincinnati in general have got a chip on their shoulder from last season,
yeah.
So they want to come out firing. So that's just my week 1 pick. How about
Okay.
you?
I like to go a little different, so I'm not gonna go a stud receiver. Okay. I don't know if you guys remember, there was like an article we shared with you guys like a year ago, but it talked about most of the $1 million lineups, or whatever, were with a QB and a tight end. So my QB tight end could go off. We'll see. It will be A-Rod and M. Bennett, Martellus Bennett. Okay. So just because of usually tight ends go off against Seattle.
Right.
Cam is not really good cover safety, you know.
So that's our week 1 StormWatch and Stackables. Good luck, everybody. As always, subscribe down below.
Click that red button.
Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And as always, watch out. There's a storm coming. All right, that's
Where's my bullet? Baby, make it rain.
So that's our week 1 outlook. StormWatch, Stackables.
Stay down until we say it.